Brad Garlinghouse, or as I like to call it, the Bread Garlic House coin, XRP, okay? Let's cut the crap. Look, here's what I want to know. Can XRP realistically hit $10 in 2025? Currently you're at about $2 and some change depending on what the price is at the time of this video. So 4.5x from here, something like that. Not bad. The next 6.5 months, is it actually realistic? Well, here's what I'm going to do. 3 tests to see if this price target within this time frame, most importantly, yeah, it goes to $10 at some point, but in 2025, that's a different question. Time frame's important. See if it actually makes sense. If it does, great. If not, well, then there's that too. So let's remove any prior biases, take off the hopium glasses, dive into a 5-minute cold plunge and run these 3 tests and see where the chips fall for a $10 XRP in 2025. So test number 1, the XRP market cap test. Here's how we do this. We make optimistic but realistic assumptions about the following 3 points. Number 1, where is Bitcoin going to top this year? Number 2, what Bitcoin's dominance will be when it tops? 3, what XRP's dominance will be during this top? From there, well, we can project some kind of total crypto market cap and therefore derive XRP's price from that number. So if that price is $10 or above, XRP passes the test. If not, sorry, XRP fam. So our first assumption is that Bitcoin hits $200,000 this year. Now, I've done an entire video, multiple videos at this point, on why I think this is a realistic price target for Bitcoin in 2025, so I'll skip over justifying that argument in this video here. But let's just suppose that we get a $200,000 Bitcoin in 2025. Assumption number 2, Bitcoin's dominance drops down to 40%. Altcoin season finally comes after years of waiting. All the altcoiners can finally eat. During this price and cycle top, we see the Bitcoin dominance drop to these kind of lows. This is probably where Bitcoin dominance bottoms out. It's where it bottomed out in the 2021 cycle. So it's not unrealistic to think that this could be an approximate area where it bottoms out again in this cycle. Assumption number 3, XRP's market cap dominance hits around 6% during this time period. So right now, XRP's dominance is around 4%. But twice in 2020 and 2021, XRP's dominance actually shot up to 6%. And earlier this year, it got up to 5.5%. So it could therefore be fair to assume that XRP can actually hit 6% dominance again later this year. So here's our numbers. A $200,000 Bitcoin in 2025. Yes, a 40% Bitcoin market dominance and an XRP market dominance at 6%. So when we put it all in here, run the math, okay? What do we get? Well, in this scenario, we get a single XRP priced at $10.14. So it looks like we might have a winner here, folks. If based on these metrics, then yes, XRP in theory could get to $10 in 2025. Test number 2, XRP's percentage gains to Bitcoin tests. All we do here is compare XRP's percentage gains to Bitcoins from the respective 2022 price bottoms to current all-time highs for the cycle. We then assume that XRP keeps some kind of correlation to Bitcoin for the rest of the cycle. And I can already hear it, XRP people, but RLUSD and the real world assets and the partnerships and USDC just came and all this stuff and ETFs and treasury come. Oh, I get it. I understand. That's how you get to $10 in the first place, okay? But let's run the math to see what Bitcoin needs to hit in order for XRP to hit $10 and then try to ask ourselves if it's realistic that Bitcoin actually hits this particular price this year. Before we dive into that, guys, if you want to trade XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, dog coins, you need to check out BitUnix's hottest exchange in crypto right now. No KYC, no VPN, and lots of insane bonuses to sign up. They got all the big coins, deep liquidity. You can get up to $2,000 in trading bonuses, up to $400 in deposit bonus. Meaning you deposit $1,000, you get $200 back. You deposit $2,000, you get $400 back into your account, which is crazy. And we're giving away $1,000 a day. Every day we're live streaming, so it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 days a week, $5,000 a week, 10 winners, $500 a piece. That could be you. It's eligible for new signups. Link down below. Go check it out. So since the bear market lows of 2022 until each coin's respective top in the cycle this far, XRP, which is the top chart on your screen, has increased 1,087%. Over the same general period, Bitcoin, which is at the bottom, has increased by 623%. This means that XRP has relative outperformance. In fact, it means that XRP's percentage gains have been 1.74x that of Bitcoin's. up until this point. Now, assuming XRP keeps this approximate edge over Bitcoin for the rest of our cycle, then the math actually says that in this situation, Bitcoin would need to hit $322,000 by the end of the year if XRP is to hit $10. Now look, I'm not going to sit here and argue it. I don't think it's super realistic Bitcoin hit $322,000 this year. Maybe if the cycle's longer and crazier than everybody thinks, it's a theory we've been working with here on the channel, maybe 2027, something like that, sure. But before I say that XRP has failed this test, let's change our assumption and say that XRP will have a 3x edge over Bitcoin moving forward for the rest of the year. Altcoin season picks up, all that fundamental catalyst BS starts picking up the price. So let's see what Bitcoin price we get in this scenario. When we run that math, Bitcoin only needs to hit $232,000 if XRP can pick up its percentage gains versus Bitcoin on a relative basis and have 3x outperformance. So Bitcoin will only need to go to 232, which is about the 3.618 Fibonacci line by the end of the year, in order for XRP to hit $10. Now, do I think $200,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year is super doable? Yeah. 232? Maybe that's pushing it, but blow off top, yeah, sure, why not? And since I already kind of massaged the data here to help XRP at this test, I'm going to say that it fails this one, okay? But in theory, it could do it. Third test, XRP options delta. We don't talk about options a lot on this channel, but delta is one of the Greeks. And it's used as a proxy for estimating the percentage likelihood that the asset's price will hit an options strike price by the expiry date. So we can use XRP's current delta for the $10 strike for the December 31st, 2025 expiry date to determine if a $10 XRP, again, is actually realistic. So here's the test. If a $10 XRP strike by December 31st, 2025 has a 0.02 delta or higher, which basically by proxy means that the options market essentially believes that there is a 2% chance or higher that XRP will hit $10 by that date. Then we're going to call this price target realistic, and XRP passes the test. If it's under 0.02, then we'll say that it's just not realistic. And I think that we're being very fair to XRP with this 2% marker, by the way. It's a relatively low bar. So when we go over to the world's largest crypto options exchange, Deribit, what do we find? Well, first off, there's not even a market for this expiry date, so kind of puts a little bit of a problem in there. But okay, sure. There's a September 25th market. Okay, so when we check out the September 25th market, we find that the highest strike for the September data right now is $7, and the market is currently estimating a 4% chance that this price gets hit. So just to make sure we're all on the same page here, the world's largest crypto options market isn't even thinking about XRP options for December. And the highest price that we've got is just for September, and that's just $7. And it's currently, according to the options market, only has a 4% chance of getting hit. Now, maybe the options market is just terribly wrong. Maybe we don't have super rich options markets for altcoins. Maybe we need more. But anyways, this means if there was a $10 XRP strike for December, I can pretty much guarantee you the delta would be less than 0.02. So XRP fails this options delta test. And just in case you're wondering, yes, there are options markets for strike prices that are very far out on the money, okay? For example, Bitcoin's December strike prices, they go as far as $400,000 right now. XRP tops out at 7. Anyways, to conclude, XRP passed the market cap test, but kind of failed the percentage gains test, although I could see a scenario in which it would pass that, assuming massive outperformance in this sort of low Bitcoin dominant zone at the peak top of the market. It also failed the options delta test, so let's just say that a $10 XRP in 2025 is not wildly realistic. I'm not saying it can't happen, especially these big numbers. Big numbers always tend to screw people's heads. Oh, I got this big number. But it's super not realistic at this point, okay? It could happen. Again, it could happen. But if you're looking to unload your XRP bag within the next 6 months, and I'm not saying XRP will never hit $10, it probably will. but probably not within the next 6 months. Now, maybe we get the full-blown super mega crazy altcoin season, everything goes totally bonkers and this happens. But let's just dial it back a little bit, and probably a target of around $6 to $7 becomes much more realistic. And think of it this way, if it goes to $7, you've been holding your XRP since 50 cents, and it goes to $7, okay? And I'm gonna wait for $10 before I sell anything and take any profits. What are you missing out on there? Another 50% gains? It's not bad, but it's not like you're gonna 10x your money from that point, are you? Food for thought. Thanks for watching.